Hey everyone, it's the Innovator's Mindset with Nancy Chung. Let's go, Nancy.
Woo!
That's it. I actually have been following Nancy for a long time, and I was in Tustin years ago. I want to do this for anyone who's listening from Tustin. I want to give them a little shout out.
Oh,
Yeah, I actually remember, and I think that's like when I first fell into your stuff and connected. I think someone actually said, because I talked a little bit about social media, and someone's like, "Oh, you should." You should. I'm like, "Oh, this person gets it." So,
well,
I've been connected to you ever since.
I think that was 2021 when you
Yeah,
came to speak at our
yeah,
big welcome back meeting. And I think elementary teachers saw you first, and then we had to get back to our site. And
yeah.
so I wanted to stay back and meet you in person, talk to you, and take pictures. But then we couldn't because I needed to get back. So I messaged you that day saying, "Oh my gosh, you are so inspirational.
Wow.
Thank you so much." And I think that's like the first time like we connected on social media.
That's probably yeah, and like
Yeah.
I really appreciate your work and your Instagram account, Fancy Nancy in fifth.
Mhm.
I will say you are just you make the teaching profession look awesome, by the way. I just really
Oh,
appreciate it.
thank
You're very
you.
positive, but you're not like just positive without like content. You share some really great ideas. I feel people are really connected to you. So I just wanted to shine that light on the world if people don't know you because I think you bring such a genuine personality to education. So and it's just nice to see that.
Wow.
And I
Wow. Thank you so much.
yeah,
What
yeah.
a
I
huge
just
compliment.
yeah, well, it's a very well deserved one. So I'm not gonna instead of just complimenting you the whole because I could probably do that for a
Hmm.
while. I'm gonna
Hmm.
ask you to tell a little bit about who you are, what you do today, and how you got there.
All right. Well, my name is Nancy Chung, and I'm a fifth grade teacher in Southern California. And I'm very active on social media, like you said. And I think I stumbled across or stumbled upon the social media when I was sharing a lot of ideas on classroom setup, classroom decorations, but meaningful decorations. So it's not just making a classroom look pretty, but making this a cozy and safe place for my students. And we spend so many hours in the classroom.
Right.
So I wanted this place to be um, somewhere where students and I wanted to be. And I think that's kind of like how I started. But I'm sharing ideas of like, classroom ideas, project ideas, hands-on things, and all of that through my experience. This is my 29th year of
Yeah.
teaching, and most of those in upper elementary and mostly in fifth grade. And I don't know, I just love sharing my ideas on social media.
So when I'm like really curious about this because I know a lot of
Hmm.
people in education would love to start doing what you're doing. So if you're gonna start, it's 2026 and you're gonna start today, and
Hmm.
someone is like, "Hey, I really want to start posting my ideas," and because there is this fear too that you shouldn't be sharing this stuff, and I talked about this a little bit. My approach has always been, I'm just going to share my learning. I'm not telling anyone how
Hmm.
to do their job. I'm just sharing my
Hmm.
learning, and I love that focus on really creating a space where kids want to be. So like if someone was to listen to this and they want to start, like what would advice would you give them like to kind of just start going?
So surprisingly, a lot of teachers reach out to me and say, "Hey, I want to be an influencer. What can I do? How can I get started?" I'm like, first, you have to get rid of that idea or like that hope of saying, "I'm going to be an influencer,"
Mm.
right?
Yeah.
Like, like I just say, start sharing the ideas that you think are valuable in your classroom, that are authentic and genuine. The things that are not like created so that it would go viral, but things that you really love doing in the classroom and share those ideas. And people are going to eventually find it relatable and um, that's just going to catch on. So like don't go in thinking like I'm this is going to go viral. I'm going to blow up or I want to. Just go in thinking what do I want to share? What would I like to see on social media and what is meaningful? What are, so I think just go from there. Just genuinely share what you love and I think people will see through that.
So and by the way, it's not surprising people reach out to you by that. I'm like, that's not surprising at all. People totally reach out to you about that.
Uh-huh.
When I mentor a lot of people that go into speaking, and one of the things I see is an issue, and I know it's a weird thing,
Hmm.
is they're so relatable. They're so easy to connect to when I talk to them, and then they go on stage and then they speak in a way that they think others. And I'm like, oh, people can
Oh,
see through
right.
that right away, right? And
Hmm.
I think it's the same on social media. It's the hope is just be you because people will see through it. Don't say stuff because you think people want to hear you
Right.
say something.
Mm-hmm.
Say what you
Mm-hmm.
believe because people immediately connect to that. And I think
Mm-hmm.
that's such good advice. The
Mm-hmm.
you and I were talking about this, and I'm glad that I'm going to bring this up to you
Mm-hmm.
because you know you're a little like even as successful as you are in this, you're like a little nervous sometimes. Like, why would anyone care about my ideas? So, a video I
Uh-huh.
suggested to Nancy before, and I'm going to suggest it to you, is a video. It's by Derek Sivers. It's called "Obvious to You, Amazing to Others." And so,
Mm-hmm.
you know, even when you're posting stuff, you might think people know this, but you have no idea what people know, and sometimes it's the most mind blowing thing, right? And so,
Mm-hmm.
like, is it you? Because you even can I? And if you don't want me to, I'll cut this out. You don't want to talk to it. But do
Uh-huh.
you even feel that sometimes, right? Like, is that fair? Because I think
Oh
people
yeah.
think you just are like, oh, I could just share anything, but there's a nervousness sometimes when you post as well.
Yeah, I mean, there are so many things that I don't post thinking this is just common sense. This is
Mm.
obvious, like no one's gonna find this like fascinating or like because it's not a new idea. But what's funny is because I've been teaching for so long, when I post like really, really old strategies and really old ideas,
Yeah.
people go crazy because these are all young, like a lot of them are new young teachers that haven't experienced that. So they're like, oh my gosh, this
I
is
love
amazing. I'm like, this is old.
that.
So what I have to tell myself, what seems like common sense to me is not everyone's common
Right.
sense, and that's what I just have to keep on telling myself and just put it out there. Like, I never know who's gonna find it useful,
Yeah,
right?
and I think anything that works for you, if it works for
Hmm.
you, even and I always encourage people like, hey, I'm just sharing an idea with you. And basically, if you take it as is and it works, great. But you might have to alter it because I don't know your class, I don't know your community. So like figure that out. And I think that's super helpful. So I think anyone who's listening to this, like listen to Nancy, like put it out there.
Hmm.
Right.
Hmm.
So like
Hmm.
people will kind of figure this out. When we were talking prior to getting on the podcast, I really loved how you said like how you see your role as a teacher,
Hmm.
and what does that look like to you, and how do you like really bring that focus into your classroom every day?
Well, okay, so I know that we're paid to teach the standards and
Yeah.
teach the academics, but our role goes far beyond that. And I tell myself every single morning when I'm getting ready for school, before I get to school, that my goal is to get these kids to love coming to school and for them to love learning something new. Because, and it might sound very cliche, but teaching them to be lifelong learners,
Mhm.
actually having them find joy in learning something new, I think that's what brings me joy. And I feel like that is my mission, with these
Hmm.
kids. Having them find their element, something that they love doing that they're really good at. Like that's one of my biggest goals. So, when a student loves music or loves art, but is not very good at math, I'm not going to only focus on math. I'm going to say, hey, you know what? You love art, you love music. Let's see how we can use, that passion and bring it as a tool to help you with academics. It kind of like merging everything, but helping them find something new, find joy in learning something new, and growing their passion with that.
Yeah, and if you walk out of school and you're not the best at math, but you love learning, you'll be fine, right? Like I think
Yeah,
that to
yeah.
me is so crucial. The goal, and I share this with groups all the time. I don't want every kid walking out of school being good at the same thing. I want every kid walking
Mm-hmm.
to school knowing they're good at something and really
Mm-hmm.
finding that too, and that passion. And I just love that when you and I were talking, and I do really appreciate this about you. You can feel. I might get you in trouble for this.
Uh-oh.
That you actually
Uh-huh.
really enjoy teaching, and that's something.
Oh my gosh.
And
Thank you for recognizing that.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's like, and I'm attracted to that. Like I
Hmm.
really, those are the people I want to be around, and you do feel that, but it's not that you never have rough days in classrooms. So like, how do you find that joy for yourself? Because like it's great you want to do that for learners, but it's really hard to do
Hmm.
that if you don't like your job. And
Right.
I think it's fair, but it doesn't mean you don't have like rough days or bad experiences. So like when you have that negative experience or something goes
Hmm.
wrong, and even how do you still find that joy in what you do every day?
Well, we know as teachers that every day is a new day,
Mhm.
so even if I am struggling or having a hard time one day, the next day can be completely different, you
Mhm.
know? And let's say you continuously have struggles and hardships with the group of students you have or group of parents that you may have. Well, when the school year ends, you get a whole fresh new batch of students and parents, right? But
Mhm.
I feel like you have to find the little joys of teaching and little joys in life. And it's your attitude. It's you choose your attitude. And even if you have hard times, like know that there will be the light at the end of the tunnel and that there will be like tomorrow will be and could be better.
Yeah, the this is, and you probably have said this before, and probably heard people say this, that every kid needs like a fresh start each day, right? And that's something like,
Hmm.
hey, they mess up, like let's give them that fresh start.
Hmm.
The thing that I always like, so do I too, right? So I might have had a bad day. I got to reset sometimes too. Like my this is my little trick. It's like if I'm
Hmm.
having a bad day, I'm in bed at like 6:30. I'm like, I want this day over with.
6:30.
Oh yeah, if
Uh-huh.
it's a bad day, I'm like, I want it
Uh-huh.
over with as soon as possible. And then when I
Uh-huh.
wake up, it's fresh. Like let's just go. Like this was not a good one. Let's just
Yeah.
get it over with.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's a
And
new day. So
yeah, and it's okay to have those bad days
yeah,
and it's okay to struggle. And I think it's okay to admit that.
yeah,
And even as a veteran teacher, even with such an amazing class, there are hard days,
hmm,
but it's okay. It's
yeah.
okay. And you just, grow from it, learn from it. It'll just make you a stronger person. But yeah, everyone
Okay.
has struggles.
I
Mhm.
didn't ask permission for this, so I don't know if
Uh-huh.
I can even bring it up. But you mentioned it when we were talking before. Your daughter's also a teacher. Is,
Yes. Uh-huh.
can I ask how's that? Like how's your daughter? Does she teach like in the same district as you? Same school?
No,
Like
no.
so
Okay,
like
okay. So when she
how's
was
that
growing up,
mentorship? Yeah, I want to hear about this.
when my kids were growing up, because I live in the community, the same community as the community that I teach in, they went to school with me. And, my like my daughter's older and my son's younger. And my daughter was one of those types, like, she couldn't wait to get away. Like, she didn't want to be in my shadow. She didn't want people
Uh,
saying, like, oh, you're Mrs. Chung's daughter. Like, my son's a little different. And so
uh-huh.
when she said she wanted to become a teacher, my husband was like, are you sure you want to be a teacher? You see all the hours that mom puts in, like, are you sure you want to? But she really did. But she did not want to be in the same district.
Mhm.
She didn't want anyone knowing that she was my daughter. And I was not even allowed to like contact, my friends who teach in other districts. She wanted to do it
Yeah,
completely on her own. And so she did start at a smaller private school
yeah,
first, and she built experience, and then she transitioned over to public school.
yeah.
And so she taught fourth grade. And so she
Aw,
went from having like, I think 14 students with all these different like pullouts and specials
yeah,
to 34 fourth graders. And because she teaches with so much passion and so much dedication, like I think she got burnt out so fast
yeah,
because she was just giving it like her
yeah.
110% every single day. And I'm like, Megan, you could do a little bit less here, you could do a little bit less there, but that's not her personality.
Right.
But she would burn out. So I would give her advice all the time. And but she's still teaching, so she's doing something, right? Yeah.
You know what I love is like immediately you can. It's like proud mom. I just loved it.
Oh, proud mom. Oh,
I could feel it
seriously.
immediately when you're talking. It's like, oh, I just love this
Oh,
girl.
yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
it's a big deal. It's like, why would
Yeah.
you leave me? Also, it's like,
Oh.
why don't you want to be around me all the time? That's how I am. My kids are so young. I'm like, you're never leaving me. So I
Oh, I
mean,
know.
okay.
I know.
So,
Yeah.
okay, last question, and this is something
Hmm.
I'm very passionate about with all this stuff that I'm talking about, really bringing communities together. And this is probably why, one of the other reasons I just so connect to your work. You talked about really how important community is, and really in education, and really the idea of like not just like finding community and that sense of belonging. Why does this
Hmm.
matter to you so much? And like when you talk about that, like what does that mean to you when you talk about community?
I feel like if any individual doesn't connect with their community, or they feel like they don't belong, or they feel like they're not appreciated or they're not accepted, I think that's when they start burning out. That's when they start kind of pulling away and kind of like, I don't know, I just feel like
Yeah.
we need other people who are like-minded to pump us up. Like, if you want to vent about the day, then you can vent. If you want to like share and bounce ideas off of each other, like you can do that too. We need to belong. I feel like all of us, like have to have that community. And if you don't have that at your grade level or at your school, you have to I don't know, like cast a bigger net. So
Right.
what I did was I found my a lot of my community like I found a lot of my closest friends through social media.
Hmm.
And so a lot of my close friends I met through Instagram actually.
That does
Um,
not surprise me at all.
yeah, and then we could talk about so many things and so I don't know. I my whole thing is, work hard and play harder. And
Hmm.
I feel like if I do have a rough day, I can still get together with, people in that I really love spending time with. And I feel like that's when I get re-energized and rejuvenated and I'm ready to take on another day.
When you first started saying that, I was like, oh, and I started thinking, I'm like, oh, I've totally felt that. That's, I was like,
Oh,
oh,
really?
yeah,
Oh.
because there's like times where you just kind of feel, we've had this conversation where, being a teacher in a space where you kind of just go sit in your classroom and eat lunch by yourself because you felt
Mm-hmm.
disconnected. And like, it wasn't just being disconnected. It then, as you said, the job became so overwhelming, right? And then it's like,
Right.
so I was like, oh, that's why. When you said, like,
Yeah. You need
that's
to
why I
have
felt like that.
people with you
Yeah,
in the trenches with you,
yeah, yeah,
and I feel like even if you can't find, somebody right there, then, like you have to reach out. Now, my love language is words of affirmation.
mm,
And so like sometimes when I post something on social media, like, recently we had a death in the family and, I just needed a lot of comforting. And oh my gosh, the hundreds and hundreds of messages that I was receiving
yeah,
of comfort, encouragement, inspiration, and love, like that's what really helped me get through this difficult time.
yeah. And
And that's my community.
that is community, and
Yeah.
that means everything.
Yeah.
So, and I'm very passionate about this. So,
Hmm.
I'm gonna end with this because you were like, send me questions. I'm like, nope, you're not getting any
I
questions.
know.
And you were awesome. So,
Oh, thank you so
not
much.
no surprise at all. So, anyways, everyone, thank you so much for listening. Make sure you connect with Nancy. You can see her Instagram down below. She is going to be, no matter what you teach, you will feel totally inspired. She is such a light on the world, and that's what I'm most attracted to. So, I'm so grateful that you spent some time with me, and so grateful you guys listen. So, Nancy, thanks so much for being on the podcast.
Well, thank you so much. It's
The
been an
best.
honor. Thank you.